Geodesy is a science which studies of the earth measurement. Meteorology is the science which study weather and atmospheric changes. Astronomy is a science of space. Geology defines to interior of the earth. Geomorphology studies of the relief features. Cartography refers to constructing maps and charts. Geomorphology is the interpretative description of the relief features. This definition was given by Roster P.G. Submarine form is studied in oceanography. Continents, oceans are the first order relief features. Mountains, plains, and plateaus are the second order relief features. Agents of erosion are related to third order relief features. James Hutton firstly propounded the study of geomorphology in the modern age. Leonardo da Vinci was the first geomorphologist who said that rivers make their own valley. Catastrophism defines the sudden construction and destruction of the landforms on the earth. The concept of uniformitarianism was postulated by James Hutton. James Hutton said that present is the key to the past. James Hutton propounded the concept cyclic nature of the earth history. No vestige of a beginning, no prospect of an end. Statement is given by James Hutton. The book Theory of the Earth with Proofs and Illustration, written by James Hutton. The book Illustration of the Huttonian Theory of the Earth, written by John Playfair. James Hutton was the founder of Plutonist school. Charles Lyell was the founder of Neptunist school. Historical geology was founded by Charles Lyell. Charles Lyell is known as armchair geologist. Principles of Geology was written by Charles Lyell. The advanced ideas of Pleistocene Ice Age were given by European school of thoughts. Louis Agassiz has contributed in the field of glacial. The concept of Ice Age was propounded by Louis Agassiz. A treatise, The Great Ice Age, was written by James Gaiety. The Unstable Earth was written by J.A. Steers. The Physical Basis of Geography, an outline of geomorphology, was written by Ulrich and Morgan. The concept of law of unequal slope was proposed by Gilbert G.K. The concept of geographical cycle of erosion was propounded by W.M. Davis. Landscape is a function of structure, process, and stages. This theory was postulated by W.M. Davis. Morphology of the Earth was written by L.C. King. Austerity concept was propounded by Swiss. Concept of geographical cycle was propounded by W.M. Davis in 1899. The morphologic analysis was written by Walter Pank in 1924. Canons of landscape development is written by Krimke. Deep weathering theory was propounded by Linton. Theory of geographical cycle given by W.M. Davis. Theory of geomorphic system given by Walter Pank. Theory of peniplanation cycle given by Krimke. Theory of pediplanation cycle given by L.C. King. Pre-glacial theory was propounded by Palmer and Nielsen. As the different erosional agencies act upon the Earth's surface, there is produced a sequence of landforms having distinctive characteristics at the successive stage of their development. This statement is given by Thornbury. Complexity of geomorphic evolution is more common than simplicity was defined by Strahler. A rise of sea level in relation to the land is called submergence. Fall of sea level in relation to the land is called emergence. Area occupied by the sea is known as transgression of the land. Area where there was the sea during the past is known as regression of the land. The forces which are very active in the interior of the earth is called endogenetic forces. The forces which are very active in the earth's surface is called exogenetic forces. Endogenetic forces are also known as diastrophic forces. Emergence of the land is occurred due to exogenetic forces. Tension, compression, faulting, folding, orogenetic, aperogenetic, and warping are due to the endogenetic forces. Denudation, weathering, and erosion are the exogenetic forces. Deepening of the river valley is exogenetic force. The deformation and movement of the rock in the earth crust is diastrophism. The process by which intensely folded and faulted mountain ranges are formed is orogenesis. Landslides occur due to endogenetic forces. A downfold in the strata of the earth crust is called syncline. A rock structure in which the bedrock folded into an arc is called anticline. The angle of maximum slope of an inclined surface is called dip. The direction of a horizontal line on an inclined rock stratum is a strike. Fold in which the limbs dip away symmetrically from the axis of fold is called symmetrical fold. A fold with one limb dipping away from the axis more steeping than the other is called monoclinal fold. A limb of the recumbent folds slides forward and overrides the other fold is called thrust. The parallel and horizontal limbs of a recumbent fold are napes. The example of rift valleys in the world are Rhine Rift Valley, Jordan Rift Valley, Narmada Rift Valley, Swan Rift Valley. Dead Sea is the deepest rift valley of the world. Due to Coriolis force generated by the Earth rotation, causes the deflection of the winds to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere. Geosynclines are mobile water bodies. Geosynclines are long, narrow, and shallow depressions of water. These are characterized by gradual sedimentation and subsidence. Long but narrow and shallow water depressions characterized by sedimentation and subsidence are called geosynclines. Himalayan, Alps, and Rockies mountains are originated due to geosynclines. The concept of geosynclines was propounded by James Hall and Dana. The concept of geosynclines was developed by Hogg. Steers remarked that if the idea of geosynclines is due to Hall and Dana, the theory of their development is really due to Hogg. E. Hogg defines that geosynclines are long and deep water bodies. There were 5 rigid land masses during the Mesozoic era defined by E. Hogg and also identified 4 geosynclines. Tethys geosyncline was there in the place of Himalaya mountain. Appalachian geosynclines is the best example of monogeosyncline. Rocky and Ural geosynclines are the best example of polygeosynclines. Tethys geosynclines is the best example of meso-geosynclines. Monogeosynclines, which are situated either within an continent or along its borders. Polygeosyncline, which are long and wide water bodies. Mesogeosynclines, which are very long, narrow, and mobile ocean basins, which are bordered by continents from all sides. The geosynclines, which are always situated between two continents or land masses, called intercontinental geosynclines. The geosynclines, which are generally found along the marginal areas of the ocean, are called circumoceanic geosynclines. The geosynclines, which are generally situated along the margins of continents, called circumcontinental geosynclines. Stages of geosynclines are lithogenesis, orogenesis, and glyptogenesis. The stage of creations, sedimentation, and subsidence of the beds of geosynclines is called lithogenesis. The stage of squeezing and folding of geosynclinal sediments is called orogenesis. The stage of gradual rise of mountains and their denudation is called glyptogenesis. Geosynclinal orogeny theory is given by Kober. Sliding continents theory is given by Daly. Thermal convectional current theory is given by Holmes. Thermal contraction theory is given by Jeffries. The famous book On the Surface of the Earth, Dirt by the Earth, was written by Kober. Hermann propounded the theory of undulation and oscillation. Thank you.